Marvel villains want to destroy the world. Dr. Doom thinks that's lazy. Why destroy it when you could rule it? Why tear something down when you could reshape it in your image? Make it better, more efficient, more worthy, and put your face on the throne at the center of it. Doom doesn't want apocalypse. He wants order. His order. In over 60 years of Marvel Comics history, he has come closer to achieving that goal than any villain the universe has ever produced. He's beaten the devil. He's stolen the power of cosmic gods. He's ripped the skeleton out of Thanos with his bare hands. He's rebuilt the Marvel multiverse from scratch. He's become the Sorcerer Supreme, and he did all of it while wearing a metal mask that he put on to hide a scar so small that most people who've seen it say it barely qualifies as a disfigurement. Because to Victor Von Doom, any flaw is unacceptable, and perfection is the only standard worth holding yourself to. Today we're counting down Dr. Doom's 10 greatest feats in Marvel Comics history. Not his greatest stories, not his best character moments, his 10 most staggering demonstrations of what one man with enough intelligence, enough sorcery, and enough sheer unstoppable will can actually accomplish. Fair warning, by the time we reach number 1, you're going to understand why a lot of people, including some Marvel writers, consider Dr. Doom not just Marvel's greatest villain, but its greatest character, period. Number 10, building a fully functional time machine, alone in a castle from scratch. We start here not because it's the most dramatic thing on this list. It isn't, but because it establishes something essential about Victor Von Doom before we get into the cosmic feats. This man is not just powerful, he is arguably the most complete individual intellect in Marvel Comics history. Reed Richards is considered Marvel's smartest human. Tony Stark has built suits capable of going toe-to-toe with gods. Hank Pym discovered a fundamental particle and named it after himself. These are not small minds, and none of them have built a working time machine. Doom built one in his first appearance. Fantastic Four issue 5, 1962. The very first time readers ever met Dr. Doom, he already had a time machine operational in Castle Doom in Latveria. Not a prototype, not a theoretical model, a functional device that he used to send the Fantastic Four back to the Age of Pirates to steal Blackbeard's treasure, because he needed something and time travel was the most efficient solution available to him. Think about what that means. Time travel is not a problem that any other human intellect in Marvel has solved independently. The mechanics of moving through the fourth dimension, the energy requirements, the paradox management, the targeting precision required to land in a specific historical moment rather than the void between seconds. Doom solved all of it, alone, and had it running before his first comic appearance was finished. Reed Richards has spent decades unable to replicate it without significant effort. Tony Stark builds around it rather than through it. Doom did it as a young man, in a castle, and treated it as a tool rather than an achievement worth celebrating. That casual relationship with the impossible is the baseline for everything else on this list. When a man builds a time machine and considers it unremarkable, you pay attention to what he considers impressive. Number 9, defeating Doctor Strange and nearly becoming Sorcerer Supreme twice. Most people know Dr. Doom as a scientist dictator. The sorcery element of his character tends to get underplayed because his armor and his intellect are more visually striking. That's a mistake, because Doom is one of the most powerful magic users on Earth and has been for decades. His magical abilities come directly from his mother. Cynthia Von Doom was a witch who made a deal with Mephisto, Marvel's devil, and was dragged to hell as a consequence. Doom spent years studying sorcery specifically to rescue her, developing abilities that eventually put him in competition with Doctor Strange himself for the title of Sorcerer Supreme. He lost that competition, but he beat every other sorcerer the Vishanti considered worthy, which is not a short list of lightweights. He finished second in a contest where second place still means you're one of the most powerful magical beings on Earth, and the knowledge he gained from traveling and studying alongside Strange during that period became the foundation for every magical feat that follows on this list. Then, in 2025's One World Under Doom storyline, which is happening in main Marvel continuity right now, Strange actually transferred the Sorcerer Supreme mantle to Doom temporarily during a vampire invasion, needing his power to end the crisis. Doom ended the crisis, and then refused to give the title back. He is currently in the main Marvel universe, both ruler of Earth and its Sorcerer Supreme simultaneously, combining scientific genius with the complete mystical authority of the most powerful magical office on the planet. Strange trusted him with the most important magical role in the world, and Doom simply kept it, because of course he did. Number 8, stealing the Silver Surfer's power cosmic and using it to demolish the Avengers. The power cosmic is one of the most staggering energy sources in Marvel. It's what Galactus uses to devour planets. It's what allows the Silver Surfer to travel faster than light, manipulate matter at the subatomic level, project energy blasts that can level continents, and perceive events across cosmic distances. It is, in every meaningful sense, the power of a god distributed to a herald. Doom stole it, using a device he built himself, because of course he built it himself. Doom drained the power cosmic from the Silver Surfer and turned it against the Avengers. What followed was one of the most one-sided beatdowns of Earth's mightiest heroes in Marvel history. Thor, Iron Man, the assembled team. None of them could do anything meaningful against a man with Doom's tactical intelligence wielding the energy output of a cosmic god. He was winning, comprehensively, embarrassingly winning. The only reason he didn't finish it was that the power cosmic was never designed for a human nervous system, and the strain of containing that much energy eventually forced him to release it. Not because the Avengers stopped him, because his own body couldn't hold infinity without burning out. He almost won that fight against the combined Avengers while simultaneously managing the side effects of absorbing power that wasn't designed for mortal vessels. Almost. Number 7, fighting Mephisto in Hell every single year and surviving. Hell is Mephisto's domain, his throne room, the place where his power is essentially unlimited, where the rules of reality bend to his will, where every advantage belongs to him and none belong to the person foolish enough to challenge him there. Challenging Mephisto on his own turf is one of the most dangerous things any being in Marvel can attempt. Doom does it every year, not once, not as a one-time heroic sacrifice, every single year, as a ritual, as a practice. To free his mother's soul from Mephisto's grasp, Doom made this annual battle a permanent feature of his existence. Going into hell, fighting the devil on the devil's home ground, surviving and coming back out. Year after year after year. The fact that he's still alive tells you everything. Mephisto is not a being known for mercy or for allowing his opponents room to breathe. He's outwitted sorcerers who devoted their entire lives to the mystic arts. He's made deals that have broken cosmic-level beings. And Doom walks into his realm on a schedule and walks back out because he is genuinely too stubborn, too skilled, and too angry to die. He eventually freed his mother's soul entirely. He won against the devil on the devil's turf. Over the course of years of annual combat, that's not a feat, that's a lifestyle. Number 6, ripping Thanos' skeleton out of his body with his bare hands. This one needs very little explanation but deserves significant appreciation. During the events of Secret Wars, when Doom was wielding the power of the Beyonders as God Emperor of Battleworld, Thanos decided to challenge him. Thanos, the Mad Titan, the being who used the Infinity Gauntlet to kill half of all life in the universe, the character who casual fans consider the gold standard of Marvel threats, decided that the newly minted God Emperor wasn't someone he needed to take seriously. Doom reached into Thanos' body and tore his skeleton out. Not a metaphor, not a dramatic story beat where we cut away and imply something happened. Doom grabbed Thanos by whatever cosmic grip a man with the Beyonders' power can manage and physically extracted his skeleton from his body in one motion. Thanos, who is one of the most physically durable beings in Marvel, who has survived punches from the Hulk, blasts from the Silver Surfer, attacks from Thor, reduced to a pile of flesh and bone on the ground of Battleworld because he chose the wrong person to challenge. The message wasn't even about Thanos, the message was about what Doom had become. Number 5, killing a Phoenix Force-powered Cyclops with a gesture. The Phoenix Force is one of the most overwhelming cosmic entities in Marvel, an abstract being of near infinite destructive and creative power. It amplifies whoever it bonds with to levels that make them almost impossible to stop through conventional means. Jean Grey wielding it destroyed a star system. The Scarlet Witch at the peak of her power couldn't simply contain it. When the Phoenix bonded with Cyclops during the Avengers vs. X-Men storyline, he became so powerful that he defeated the combined Avengers almost effortlessly and had to be stopped by the collective effort of the entire Marvel hero community. During Secret Wars, Doom encountered a Phoenix Force-powered Cyclops. He killed him with a gesture, one motion, no extended fight, no dramatic struggle against the power of a cosmic entity, no hard-won victory after a brutal battle. Doom looked at a being amplified by one of the most powerful forces in the Marvel Universe and ended him the way you'd swat a fly. Because when you have the power of the Beyonders flowing through you, the Phoenix Force is not the most impressive thing in the room. Number 4. Turning Johnny Storm into the sun. This one sounds absurd until you sit with it for a moment, and then it becomes one of the most genuinely staggering demonstrations of raw reality manipulation in Marvel history. When Doom assembled Battleworld from the fragments of destroyed universes, that patchwork planet needed a sun, not a metaphorical sun, a functional star, providing light and heat and the energy necessary for life to exist on the surface of a world that had been cobbled together from the ruins of multiple dead realities. Doom turned Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, one of the original Fantastic Four, into that sun. He transformed a person into a star, a living, thinking person into a celestial body that an entire world depended on for survival. Johnny Storm spent years as the literal sun of Battleworld, providing light for billions of people across the patchwork reality Doom had created. He was eventually freed when the events of Secret Wars resolved and the multiverse was restored. The feat isn't just the transformation itself, it's the scale of what it implies. Doom didn't hire someone to build a star. He didn't find a convenient cosmic object and redirect it. He looked at his problem, Battleworld needs a sun, and looked at the resources available to him, and the solution he arrived at was transforming a human being into a functional stellar body. That's not power. That's power combined with a specific flavor of absolute creative ruthlessness that belongs entirely to Victor Von Doom. Number 3. Outsmarting the Beyonders. We've talked about the Beyonders on this channel before. They are extra-dimensional beings who exist outside the Marvel multiverse, who engineered its complete destruction across billions of years of careful preparation, who killed the Living Tribunal, cleared the cosmic hierarchy, and executed a plan so airtight that no one in any universe had any idea it was happening until it was already done. They are, by most measures, the most complete and successful villains in Marvel history. Doom found the angle they hadn't accounted for. While everyone else in the Marvel Universe was scrambling to manage the symptoms of the Beyonders' plan, the incursions, the collapsing universes, the disappearing cosmic hierarchy, Doom was figuring out the mechanism. He identified the Molecule Man as the Beyonders' weapon. He understood that each universe had one, that each one was a bomb, and that the bombs were the key. He traveled with Doctor Strange and the Molecule Man through collapsing realities, harvesting what he needed, building a counter weapon from the pieces of the Beyonders' own plan. And then he used it against them. He detonated the Molecule Man bomb against the Beyonders directly, destroyed them, and absorbed their power in the moment of their defeat. A plan billions of years in the making, executed by beings of near infinite power from outside reality itself, undone by one man with enough intelligence to see the one thing the Beyonders hadn't protected against: themselves. The Beyonders built a perfect trap. Doom found the exit, and the key was made of the same material as the trap. Number 2. Rebuilding the Marvel multiverse. With the Beyonders' power absorbed, Doom faced something no being in Marvel history had ever faced before: a completely destroyed multiverse. Not damaged, not disrupted, gone. Every universe, every timeline, every version of every reality that had ever existed, annihilated. The blank space where the Marvel cosmos used to be. And Doom built something in the void. Battleworld was assembled from every fragment of every reality that had survived until the final moment. Pockets of existence from dead universes stitched together into a single patchwork planet held together by the willpower and the godlike power of one man. He didn't have a blueprint, he didn't have assistance. He had the power of the beings who destroyed everything, and he used it to make something where there had been nothing. He then ruled that world for 8 years as its God Emperor, maintaining the physics, the politics, and the stability of a planet made of incompatible pieces of dead realities, keeping billions of people alive in a place that had no right to exist. The wall of the planet was made from Ben Grimm, the sun was Johnny Storm, the law enforcement was an army of Thors. It was the most insane act of world building in Marvel history, held together entirely by Doom's will. He is the only character in Marvel who has ever built a world from scratch out of nothing. That's not a superpower, that's something else entirely. Number 1, holding the power of the Beyonders long enough to matter, and choosing to give it up. Everything else on this list is about what Doom did with power. This one is about what he did without it. When Reed Richards confronted Doom on Battleworld and challenged him for control of the Beyonders' power, it wasn't a fight in the conventional sense. Reed looked at everything Doom had built, Battleworld, the God Emperor, the reconstructed cosmos, and said the most devastating thing he could have said. Not, "You're wrong," or "You're evil." He said, "You could have done better." That Doom, with all his brilliance, all his power, all his vision, had built something smaller than what he was capable of. That the insecurity, the rivalry, the need to beat Reed Richards, the ego that had defined his entire life, had made his version of godhood smaller than it should have been. That a truly great Doom, a Doom without the damage, would have done more. And Doom agreed. Victor Von Doom, in possession of the power of the beings who destroyed the Marvel multiverse, standing at the absolute peak of everything he had ever wanted to achieve, admitted that Reed Richards was right, that he could have done better, that the flaw wasn't in the power, it was in him. The Molecule Man, who had been watching this exchange, transferred the Beyonders' power to Reed. Reed used it to restore the full Marvel multiverse. Every universe, every reality, every version of every world, rebuilt from the ground up. The Marvel cosmos we have today exists because Doom let it happen. He chose to give up the power of gods because someone told him the truth about himself, and he was, in that moment, honest enough to hear it. That's the most impressive thing Dr. Doom has ever done. Not because it required the most strength or the most intelligence or the most preparation, but because it required the one thing Victor Von Doom spends his entire life refusing to exercise: humility. For one moment in the ruins of the universe he had rebuilt with his own hands, Doom told the truth, and the Marvel universe survived because of it. Most villains want to destroy. Doom built a world. Most villains cling to power. Doom gave it back. Most villains are defined by what they take. Doom's greatest moment is defined by what he chose to let go. That's why he's not just Marvel's greatest villain, he might be Marvel's greatest character. Full stop. If you want more deep dives into the most complex and powerful figures in comic book history, stick around. I'll see you in the next one.